Hey guys, hope everyone is okay at home, safe, peaceful. I know it's a difficult time for all of us, right? Even for me. Uh, we've been at home for approximately 90 days now. Yeah, spending time in our own homes, which we usually don't do because we're out on the road, chasing our careers, chasing our life goals. Yeah, and we don't kind of spend time, spending time with our own families. Uh, Something which I really want to cover and which I've been wanting to do for the last now 10 years is talk about this voice, finding your own voice. This is a term which we usually get to hear from artists, from talent, from you know anyone who is out there on stage putting himself out in front of an audience, right, saying that find your voice. I'm not really referring to that. I'm referring to your inner voice. So for the last, I would say, 20 years of my life, I've been working for 2 decades now, right, across industries. What I've seen is that, finding your own voice is the most difficult aspect of life. Um, so what I'm trying to do is I've been trying to actually study. I'll kind of take a step back. I've been trying to actually study happiness as a subject. Why am I doing that? It's not that I'm not happy, right? It's about finding more purpose in life, finding a deeper meaning of life, finding a more balance in life, right? Yeah, so I took up this subject. I've been studying it, been enjoying it. It's been a journey, right? It's been 4 weeks now. Initially started a lot of anxiety, couldn't understand the subject, but then started reading up a lot, started, hearing audiobooks, absorbing content. And I realized that, there's so much to understand about the subject. And today, what I'm trying to talk about is finding your own voice. Over my journey for the last 20 years, what I realized, and I realized this, I would say, a few years back, like a 3, 4 years back. Uh, yeah, after spending 15 years of my working life, I realized this particular aspect is that, you tend to ignore your own voice, your own inner voice, and you seem to prioritize other people's opinions and voice over your own voice. If you sit down, introspect, look back in life, you will actually see that most of us land up doing that. Uh, and why do we do that? I think today we live in a very perceived world, right? A very, I would say, a world which is not real in aspects of being real, right? Um, you know, you try to find deeper relationships. You try to find deeper, engagement with people around you. Very rarely you connect with a few people you can trust, really trust, speak with openly, be your true self, right? Otherwise, most of us are wearing dual hats, dual faces while we're conducting ourselves. Uh, so this inner voice tells you a lot. It's your gut. It comes from your gut, and I've started listening to it. And the moment I started listening to it, I realized that my decision making has become far better. Uh, I'm finding myself at much more peace than I have ever been, right? Because all this time it's been about other people's, voice. It's about being other people's opinion, about, so like for example, I've worked for 2 decades now over multiple industries. uh, every place you go to, and especially when you start out, early in the media industry. I'm part of the media industry. um, people tend to tell you, right, take it easy, take baby steps. You might be really good, exceptional at your work, but the guy on top will always tell you, take baby steps. You'll get there. I took my own time. And then that kind of tends to stick on you. You kind of tend to take on those words, tend to follow his footsteps, and it becomes a pattern. You say, let this one go by. I'll do the next project in a different way. You might be exceptional. Like so today, when I look back at my career path, right, I think in everything I've done, right, I've excelled. I've been fantastic in all my roles that I've played. But I've been one of those fortunate ones who always had that daddy on top who's been telling me, what's wrong and what's right and what I should do. There came a point in my life when I realized that I could have been far ahead in my life compared to where I am today. And is it because of me? Actually, no. It's because of me listening to, I would say, that outside noise. Your gut always tells you that, look, uh, step out, look at things differently, pause. There's one thing we don't do. In a clutter of, I would say, in our race of life, we don't seem to pause, and introspect, think about what's going wrong, what should we correct, what can make us feel better, feel happier, feel at peace, and this is the voice that I started listening to, right? This is the voice that told me that, hey Sham, instead of being hard on yourself, being harsh on yourself, pause, stop, reflect inside yourself, and see that there's actually nothing missing. You seem to be going down the right road, and that's the voice I'm talking about finding that particular voice, you know. And trust me, once you get this right, once you sit down, think, and you, I would say, declutter your opinions, declutter the noise from your head. Trust me, your voice will make you find your own self. Trust me on it.